Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday night, which means it is time for This Week in Eternal Evolution. I do have a guest tonight. I know I've been slacking, I've been lazy, but I have no excuse, so I do have a guest tonight, so you get to listen to a little bit of banter back and forth with another really knowledgeable CC content creator for Eternal Evolution. You know who it is already because you saw the thumbnail. It is Gaming with Mayhem. Is that how you want? Can I just call you Mayhem, or do you want me to do it in the full surname, Gaming with Sir Mayhem?
No, just Mayhem. That's all I want.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to basically kind of rehash the week that was in Eternal Evolution as we're coming up on the patch notes, which will be released tonight at roughly, usually it's 3 a.m. my time. I think it's going to be a really big patch because the Collab event is done, and now we're moving back into old school Eternal Evolution, so get ready. Since I said Collab event, we're going to just kind of hash out the whole month that was the Collab event. Mayhem, how did you enjoy it? What did you like about it? What did you hate about it? Tell me what you thought about the Collab event.
I mean, it was a good event. They were trying something different to spice it up. And, it was nice to kind of put it with free to play, new players coming, jumping in. But I think they've learned probably from it because it was really, you do your 3 hits and then story mode took you probably less than 5 minutes to do on even newer accounts. And it was just really stale. And I think they've learned to kind of, maybe the next time if they do this, that where it's something you're doing every day, with making it extended, maybe adding Twilight lands in the beginning, like keeping it like normal so we have it. But overall, it was good. It sucked for people that try to hoard gene hybrids so they could be always on top, but that kind of sucked. So some of the characters, I'm not gonna lie, I do not have Immortal. So, but overall, I think it was a good event. It can be better. I mean, things can always get better. Hopefully they learn from it, and then the next event that we have, they learn from it and it gets a better event.
Do you think maybe it was kind of stale because we had that big Chinese holiday in the middle where they took basically, 10 days off? Do you think they just kind of had this thing thrown together and then they just chucked it out there as a kind of like a demarcation point? Like, we're coming up to the 1-year anniversary. Like, they probably just ran to get this thing complete, pushed it out the door before it was ready, and then went on holidays, and now they're back full force. Do you think that could possibly be, or do you think it was just minimal effort?
No, honestly, I do think the Chinese holiday did come into effect because, we had that one patch where it was just mostly whatever that one person at the building hit the button.
Yeah.
And it was the most smallest patch we've ever had and barely anything to it. So I honestly think it was something they knew it was going to come up, so they had to keep it kind of spicy in a way, so they added that. But I think they'll have something big for the 1-year anniversary, so I'm hoping.
I think so too, and we should get more information on that tonight because I will pull up the Splash banner. So the official anniversary is November 9th. Where's Borders? So we do have this Splash banner right here, Endless Battle, first anniversary coming soon. So we had previously saw that we had, I think it was Hunter Energy, or was it Tank Energy? I think it was Tank Energy and then Unknown or Unknown Signal.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep, so, Unknown Signal.
So now we got this boss with this giant, energy sword stabbed through his chest. It feels like we're going to get some of the anniversary event in this Endless Battle. What do you think this is going to turn into? Anything?
I think it will be the beginning of it. I don't think this is going to be like a 1 week kind of thing. I think this might be a little couple of weeks or maybe even a month. They might do it into this to where it's just building on to the anniversary. And when I first saw this, I was like, wait, is this the new Energy Heroes weapon? But then it came out and it wasn't, but it kind of looked like it. But hopefully, they kind of up the rewards. That'd be nice. But, I think this is the beginning of it, so this should be a good one.
Yeah, because the 9th is officially the 2 weeks after this Thursday, so it does land on a patch day. So there's no reason why this should be the anniversary. They have 2 more weeks until the official global launch of EE. So I think you're right. I don't think this is it. I think this is a taste or an intro into it, which is nice. Like, we just came out of one event. I know my red runes are full. I don't know how your red runes are doing from the Collab event, but it seems like all of a sudden I come out and I have like 550. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, everyone makes fun of me because they say I hoard red runes. I always keep about 700 on hand.
Well, that's good, because all they have to do is announce one more Hell Arena character or something, and all of a sudden they're doubling up. Like, we just came out of the Collab event, which gave us 4 heroes. Now, I'm assuming that you would agree with me that the only 2 that are really worth anything at this point are Motoko and Purin.
That is correct. Both of those are EX30 from me.
Yeah, so those are my 2 X30s as well. I do have Bato and Tachikoma also at Immortal. But I'm not really seeing... I think that Tachi and Bato are more for new players coming into the game and not for us endgame players. Just because...
Yeah. I mean, Batu, I think, I think he needs to be reworked, me personally. I think his damage is just not up there, especially how much attack he gets off of it. But I think if they rework him with Barag and Ares could be a nasty, combination on a PvP team, but he just needs to be reworked. And I think I have 2 copies or three copies of Tachikoma. I haven't really worked on him.
I tried at Immortal X20, and all I could think of was she was a little bit better of a Zeta with a little bit more in her kit, but squishy. Even though she brings that shield and all those shielding, I can't really use her as a frontliner because she just dies too quick. But whereas Zeta at X20 is still just a beast. Like, it's hard to take her down. You put her in a Herald set and ramp up her HP. She's nuts. So I don't know. Maybe Batu is just like an Ares. We're kind of all like writing him off right away, like I know I did with Ares. And then at Immortal 5, maybe he's a god, but I definitely don't want to pump the genes into him to take him to Immortal 5.
No, nope. I will slow build that, or no, that's not one I will. Just because we need a little more. I need a little more testing with him to kind of see if he is, but it's just not right now. That's how I look at it.
And then there's Moto, who I don't even run Rick on a PvP assassin team. She's that good. She just totally negates Rick, just pushes him out altogether. You can just run her. Well, again, that's coming from me. I have Korra, so I can run Korra on that team, and I can see how if I didn't have her, Rick would still be good. But have you noticed the bug where her crit rate? It gets the mechanics. It goes to 0 when they start the game or start the match, because Rick doesn't get any crit rate from her at all, even though it says she has some on her gear. Did you notice that?
No, I have not noticed that. I've got to look at that, because that's weird. It's not,
yeah, in testing, Rick's damage dropped way off once you put Moto in there, and the only thing we could think of was that the behind the scenes, her kit it actually converts her crit rate to crit damage, and her crit rate is 0 going into the fight, because it doesn't seem like Rick is benefiting at all from her crit rate. I could be wrong, but that was what some of us in my guild kind of presumed and came up with, because we couldn't explain the huge drop off in Rick damage.
So then could you run like a normal thing at all crit rate, and then it will just, maybe it will do the same thing and just convert to 0 again? Yeah,
converts to 0. But she's awesome. I'll give her that. I have mine. This is my streaming account that people are looking at. So on my main, my money account, I actually have her at Immortal 1, I do believe, and 1 Hyper Evolved 120. And she does just fine right there. I'm happy with her. And then Purin, oh boy. I think they messed up with Purin. I think a lot of people are saying she's bugged because she shouldn't be as good as she is. But I don't think they're going to nerf her. I think that this is who we're getting. Do you think they're going to fix her?
No, I don't think they'll fix her, because if you really looked at it, I mean, the last, I guess, Go 3 support, Miranda, Fiona, and now her, they've all hit like 10s. They've all been top 1s. Where Fiona changed the game with Vanguards and Assassins, and then Miranda changed it with, Hunters. And I mean, I'll be funny. I still run Miranda on my tank team just for the Teresh throwback, to where it keeps res alive and everything. But I don't think they will, because I think they're trying to get people to where they can get down Turbine 18. Because it does ramp up that Turbine 18 team big time.
Yep. But it's like, it's not her kit exactly. It's her ability when it's paired with Flashpoint or the I can't remember what it is, right? Every tick, since she doesn't have an active heal, every tick, every second, she's proccing that prototype, and it is reducing the cooldowns of her abilities drastically, to the point where her energy regeneration is through the roof. She's constantly ramping up everybody else. She's just a machine. So, but
I didn't notice it until I watched one of your videos, and then you said something about it, and I watched it when I was doing a turbine hit, and it just kept proccing every second, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
So that might be, but I don't think they'll touch them. I mean, they've never, if I remember, they've really never like tuned anyone down. Because I mean, at that point, they could have just done Nord, but they never did.
Yep, they could have done that. They tuned. They tried to address Ares killing Caraxia by buffing Caraxia, but they never nerfed him. I can't think of. Oh well, no. They have nerfed one hero. Can you rack your brain to think of who I'm gonna pick? Artis. Remember?
Oh yeah, because he was killing. Yeah.
Remember he used to have the ability, if the boss's health was below 50%, I can't remember what it was, but he just did ungodly things. Like, he just ramped up the damage of your whole team, and they were just like, yeah, nope, that's gone. Throw that out the window. Artis sucks now. So that's the only time I can think of them nerfing a character.
No, but I don't think they will. I think they'll just keep her the way it is, and hopefully they don't, because she's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think they will either. Like, it's not like she's breaking the game, and if you... So she doesn't work with Vanguards at all, because they're rage-based characters, pretty much. But yeah, she is so good anywhere else. I would definitely recommend her, then Motoko, and then just don't even think about Tachikoma and Bato for now.
No, that'll be your last priority.
Yeah.
And don't hyper-evolve the support.
No, because it's going to give her... All you're going to do when you hyper-evolve a support is you're just going to give her 10% more HP, and then that she gets, 1.5% of her HP converted into health. It is such a marginal gain. You're better off picking an attacker where you're going to benefit from damage reduction, damage amp, because damage amp is on her X30, and she doesn't need damage amp because she does no damage. Yeah.
I've always laughed when I see people in my guild and others that have, hyper evolve, the support to 120, and I'm like, then they're just, fiending for a gene or a gene mutation crystal 2, and I think I have like 4 or 5 in my bag.
Yep. So, final thoughts on the Collab event. What are your final thoughts to wrap it up? Because I'm probably never going to talk about it again after this video.
I mean, it was... You said it a couple of videos, and it hit hard where I was like, it was what we thought it should be. And, they did the best they could. Could they have done better? Yeah, but honestly, it's like those days that when you're a top tier football game or a team, and you got one not a great school you're about to play, and then you got your rival. Sometimes you overlook that, meaning they're going on their holiday, and they just got this out to kind of make it go through, and then they have their anniversary coming up to where they're just going to try to knock it out the park. Hopefully. I think that's kind of what it was. So, it was good. We got some extra heroes, got some rewards. I did like the red ruins every day. So, and then the immortal temper shards. But it was all right.
Yeah. I think that if it maybe wasn't the whole month, if they would have condensed it all into 2 weeks, we got Moto and Bato in week 1, and we got the other 2 in week 2, and it was just 1 week each, but we got the exact same amount of rewards that we could pretty much get what we got. I think then it would have been palatable, whereas a month, it just seemed like that was just way too long of a repetitive event. But is what it is. I think new players really enjoyed it. I think it was a nice entry into the game for them. But for those of us that have been around here forever, I think that we just kind of got bored after the first week or two. But
and hopefully they'll never put both heroes in one banner, and it's at 50-50. Don't do that again.
Agreed. All right, we're gonna say goodbye to the Collab event. Never gonna discuss it again. It demonetized one of my videos, so I hate it. But let's go into Twilight Lands. We got 1 day left. Don't judge me for this account because I have 2 accounts that I play diligently. This account I just use for streaming purposes, so I have not got to stage 16 yet, even though I could. But if I pull up the rankings, there we are. There I am on top. I can't believe Miranda's my best hero. So, did you finish the morning of Saturday, 1610?
Yes, I was done in, I think, 21 minutes. I think I finished it.
Oh, you beat me then. 22 minutes it took me to get it down. But then again, I've never really had to rush on my server because you can see it's 22. Then my next guy, Main Wolf, 7-minute buffer, and then it kind of goes up from there. So.
Well, I remember last time I think you were talking about where Main Wolf was gunning for you.
Yep.
So no, my cluster, my server, I'll be honest, it's me and one of my guild mates, but it's far. I think we only have like 5 done. And so I really didn't have to. It's just my competitive where I just want to be done so I don't have to worry about it with it. But I wish they would go back to that one Twilight, and you know which one it is. Yes. It was the best one.
Yep, it was. I'll agree. You know, I didn't have to try as hard as I did either, but that extra 30 red runes, 150 red runes, that's half an X30. I'm going for that every day, all day.
Oh, yeah. And then I'm not... Both prototypes were perfect. It maxed out my Titan's Hammer, and then this will get my Annihilation one. I think I need one more after this, and it'll be maxed out.
Yeah, I actually have them both maxed out, so that's kind of nice now, too. I can be done with them. I really want that new energy one to go in here next month, but I think that's a little too soon. I think it's going to be 2 months out before we see that one come back. But let's see. Let's look at the rankings on my server. So this is kind of a nice little gauge. Twilight Lands is a nice little gauge of how active your server is. You can see that 17 people since Saturday have cleared it all together. And then if we just go to who's actually playing stage 16... we're going down 38. So let's say 38 people on my server. I think that's not that bad. I'd still call that an active server. But not a whole lot of Krakens on here, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean, out of all, I think I'm between 72 and 80 is where our cluster is, but I'm on 74, and we had a couple Krakens, and then things happened. You know, the game changes and they mostly left, and so I don't have to really go against it anymore. But hopefully, I do actually wish that someone would jump on my server and do it, but I would like someone kind of for competition.
Yeah, my main competition is this guy Fake Smile, who oddly enough is in my alts guild. You can see he's got maxed out cracks here, so he's definitely a spender. So at least I got him pushing me. Although he didn't really seem to. He was right on my heels in Twilight Lands on Saturday up until he kind of just stopped at 16-8, and then allowed these other 2 to get in ahead of him, and then he came back to it, or I don't know what happened, but he eventually got it later in the day. Well, not late. It was a half an hour later, but still, I don't think he's as much of a keener as maybe you and I am on this game. But that's just fine. That's okay. That's all right. So Twilight Lands, you know, it's funny how it was really just maybe 2 hours of content for 2 weeks, because we blasted through 15 in the first hour, and then we blasted through stage 16 in 20 minutes. But it sure feels a lot more. Sure feels like we get a lot more. I think it's because we get it all in two huge chunks. What do you think?
No, it does. I mean, it's always nice because that fills up my diamonds. That's how I always look at it. And no, I think it is. It's the 2 big chunks you get it, and then it's always. I mean, this is why I think everyone was really upset, because a lot of accounts, this is where they get a lot of their resources, their prototypes. So not having that, I think, really kind of just put a bad taste, which hopefully the devs learned and this won't happen again that way. And it doesn't put a lot of load on us because, like I said, I mean, yeah, there's some people it takes, 3 or 4 days. I mean, I was there before, but
Yep.
over time you'll get it. But I do just wish they made it more of a challenge because it's just we're done in 20-something minutes and then we don't do nothing the rest of the week, which I do wish they went back to that one time where it's just challenging and, it could change. It felt like to do something. You had something to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I totally agree with you 100%. The prototypes actually weren't that bad this time. We got Horn of Healing on whatever state, or this is what, 10, 9, 8. On 8, we had the Fifth Element, which is, I've never really found. Have you ever found a use for the Fifth Element prototype?
Some run it on hunter teams, but I've always been, it's the green one before, I can't think off the top of my head, but it's the one that gives them lifesteal.
Yeah,
to me, that's always the hunter.
One.
Yeah, that's the hunter one to me, but some people use it for the attack speed, but I don't really see a point of it.
I use the Attract Beholder myself as well on my hunter team. And then, yeah, we had Titan's Hammer, which is just, everybody's been waiting for Titan's Hammer. That makes everyone so excited. I have a buddy that's playing, shout out to you, Q, if you're watching this, who was just, when he first got into 16, he was like, I don't know if I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to make it. No hammer for me. But then he powered through, and he got it this morning, I do believe. So that's awesome that's there, because that is a huge prototype for the tag team.
It is. I mean, that's probably, I would say it's arguably one of the top ones that you got to level up. I mean, I think it's the second time I think Titan Hammer was on level 16, I want to say 2 Twilights ago.
No,
and we had one guy.
It was the ranking rewards. It was the ranking rewards, but they've never had it as an actual clear reward.
That's what I meant. Yeah, the ranking rewards. And we had one guy in our guild that he had to get to it, and like 4 of us called him at like 4 o'clock in the morning to be ready for when the server started, just so he didn't sleep in and miss it. And so he got it, but it helped out because it does make your team godly now.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So Twilight Lands, it seems like it just started and it's gone already here in like a day and 7 hours ish. It's sad, but yeah, give me my red runes, give me my triple S crystal, and let's move on to some endless battles.
You know what that means? They're gonna have to up it now. We're gonna have to get 17.
I'm all for it. Bring us 17, because it didn't. I did it without a reset. It seemed easy enough for us. I think they could definitely add. But if they're gonna do that, if they're gonna start adding on more content, I'd like to see them do a huge chunk. Add on to Ancient Altar. Give us 19 and 20 in the guild hunt, or up to 21, because. My guild's been clearing 18 now since the second week, or the first week after they gave us stage 18. So I could use more of that. Although I'm almost out of the guild hunt guild tech on my main account. So they're gonna have to give us something different for that.
Yeah, one of our guys, it's the big Kraken, mostly of the cluster. He said he's been keeping his because he feels like they're going to up it to 30. But, I mean, it's a feeling, but sometimes that feeling could take forever.
Yeah, it might take forever. All right, let's talk about how Elite Chapter came back around. I like Elite Chapter because it's very, very easy. Like, you just put it on auto and clear through your 5 stages a day. But it guarantees you decent rewards. Like, if we scroll down here... Obviously, don't judge me on this account, but, it is 20 limited tickets in a 2-week span, which is a lot when you consider we get, 36-ish from Altar every week.
Yep.
And then you get the leveling materials, which we all still need. Everybody still needs leveling materials. And then if you don't want to use your meteorites, you can buy a big chunk of red runes, or I did buy another copy of Emma on all of my accounts, because... We still use Emma. Did you find it surprising at all when you heard that it was going to be Emma in the Elite Chapter?
I was, but then, I think it's kind of trying to push. She is needed in certain things for hunters. The Triangle Boss, she is a great hunter for that. So, I mean, in the beginning, I was kind of like, really? But I can see she's still a niche. She's still being needed. So I'm even happy they brought her back. That's one that I kind of agree with. But always, this is always my red ruin stash. I always grab my red ruins.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one to get them from. I think it's more for new players because you probably started close to when I did, where Emma was the week 2 hero forever and ever, like 8 months, and you could almost get her to immortal in that week 2 if you played it really, really hard. Like we just all went through the new free-to-play thing, and we could all get Daniel to legendary 0 day 1 of week 3. So we all have Emma to play with, but now there's really no way for a new player to get her unless you want to spend 120 chips in the which store is it? It's this store right here. This card right now. When it's not a divine blessing, she is one of the standard characters in here. But I would never ever recommend somebody spend 120 chips on an Emma when you can buy your 80 gene hybrid every week. So I think this is a nice way for new players just to get their foot in the door to Emma, and then they can choose whether or not they want to slow build her after the fact.
Yeah, I mean, she is a great hero. I mean, she was my first EX30. So, I mean, she was a monster in the beginning.
Yep.
She's still there. So, I mean, you never know. Hopefully one day they'll revise and kind of bring game modes back to where we need, a bunch more characters.
Well, we still need her for the Endless Battle Hunter event too. Unless they rework, unless we get, like, say, another single target multi-hit Hunter like Emma, like Rebecca. That would be the only thing that would maybe pushes her out of this team and on the Katosian Triangle boss, which probably will happen eventually, but I think the game's in a really weird place now where most of the teams are filled out, and it's going to be odd to see who just, like, because Bailey now is completely useless, right? Like, if he wasn't useless before Moto, he's completely useless now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even use him. I remember, I think the hero rally that's just passed, I think it spent 900 on my advanced tickets, and I got that free copy, and I was like, Immortal 1, yay. Don't use them. And
this is really kind of the only place now to get Bailey, unless they put him in, say, like Endless Shop or some of these other shops. Right now, you got to save up 700 or 900 advanced to get him, which is going to take you 8 months if you're brand new, because you need 8 copies. You could probably do it once a month. But yeah, it's weird. Some of these heroes, and like Leo's got 1 foot out the door. We get one more good Vanguard, we're never using Leo again.
No, he's one of my favorite.
Yeah, I still use him. I still like him. But basically, Batu can kind of do the same thing, but I don't know. He's a freaking lion with a sword, man. He's awesome.
He's a beast.
All right, let's move on to the next topic, and that is the custom pack. All right, so this one was interesting. When I saw this, I laughed because I can't remember what video I did. I think it was last week or the week before. Oh, yes, it was when they skipped Sif. So Sif, the last giant tower where Dom was the giant tower reward, was supposed to be Sif. They have never broken cadence like that before, and all of a sudden they're just like, nope, we don't want Sif in there. And I kind of, at the time, I theorized, okay, they're just pushing her back 2 weeks. And I kind of joked, I'm like, watch her be the next $200 paywall hero. And lo and behold, she is in this shop for 200 bones.
Hey, daughter, 1 second. Give me 1 minute? I'm sorry. My daughter needs something.
Yeah, no worries. I'll ramble on here. So for those of you, I know you've probably watched me do this already, but you can see instead of Nord down here, we've got Fiona, Ares, Arcadia, and Sif. Now, someone in one of my comments on one of my videos pointed out to me that we have had Sif in the store over here in this store before, so it's not like Nord where he's never been in this exchange shop. In fact, if I can pull it up, we can actually see exactly when she was available for 120 chips in this store. So hide your eyes because this is going to be bright. Let's pull it up on this screen. There we go. Or maybe I'm wrong. Okay, let's go to this window. So right here, this is the 2-week shop. These are heroes that have shown up in the 2-week shop, and these are heroes that have shown up in the 1-week shop. So you see right here on September 14th, they did offer us Sif in this store. So right there, she's not like Nord, and I think that I don't think they're going to paywall her because they've already released her for 120 chips. I don't think that's going to change now that they've done that. I just think that they're just kind of... I don't know if they're going to paywall heroes anymore, but it was just kind of funny that she was... I said that in my previous video, and then all of a sudden, there she was. Where is it? Let's go back to the store. And let's close this window because that makes my face bright. You back?
All right, I'm back.
Okay, so what do you think of the Sif breaking the cadence, not being in the giant tower, and then now all of a sudden being in this $200 limited pack?
It hurts my heart. It does. I was really looking forward. I was saving up tickets. I was going to go all out for her. Just because I want to be the first one to hit 6 billion on a hit with Turbine 18. So I was close, and mine's only Immortal 1. So I was like, if I can get her to Immortal 5, I got a chance. And then I was following with yours. I'm like, all right, this is it. And then boom, it's Dom. Or actually, that was the one when I asked for a friend with PIV.
That's right.
And they told me he was Dom. I was like, what?
Yep.
I'm like, oh, don't tell me this is it. And then today, no Nord in there. So that's kind of telling me something.
Yeah, them not having Nord in here, I think is soft confirmation, and I'm pretty confident that he's gonna. If he's not gonna be in this week's complimentary banner, I think they might release. It'll be Miranda because Miranda's due. She's been the longest without anything, and she also synergizes with energy, so it would make sense if she's the complimentary banner. But it could be Nord, or they could give Nord next week for the giant tower, which would be really, really nice to people. And then they just start the cadence over again, and then 2 weeks after that they have Sif, because I don't know how they're going to release these collab heroes, because I don't know how they fit into cadence. Like, we can't just skip all of our old heroes to do in 2 weeks do a Moto giant tower. If anything, I think they're going to bring back the double banners sometime down the road to get them again. But I don't think Sif's going to be paywalled because they have had her in the chip shop before. I think I'm going to feel really bad for people that do buy this big bundle for some of these heroes, when I think that they are, just like any other hero, somewhat free-to-play accessible. So, yeah,
I mean, unless you're trying to get Cora up and buying, with more the tickets and stuff, yeah, maybe. But, I mean, that would be awesome, honestly, if he was on the giant tower. I think that would be a great thing, a great morale booster to the community, because he's been paywalled for so long. If you're going to bring him back, then I would love to see him kind of as a giant tower for a lot of people.
Yeah, agreed. And I think we are going to see him.
And then they make the new energy a monster and then take over that spot.
Yeah, I just got it in my gut. It's like all these Atlas, like, cool looking units like Ares and Nord. Like, Nord was OP right out the gate. Ares, we kind of slow played him, but as soon as we found out how he works, he's a monster. Now he's an unstoppable monster. It's nuts. And I think this new energy is going to be a monster too. I think energy just looks so cool. I love the whole, like, because they all kind of have like that Atlas faction. They're starting to have like a culture now. Like, the garb is the same. And I know some people say that's lazy design. I like the fact that they all kind of have the same kind of armor set and the palette, but they're a little bit different and their kits are different. I like that in a game.
No, I mean, they should be. It's Atlas. This is how they're designed. This is their faction. We talked about it. You playing World of Warcraft. I mean, you played for Horde. There were this is how the look came. If you played for Alliance, like, this is what the look kind of. So I like it. I honestly think, we'll get probably into it, but the new energy, I just bring Nord back for, on the Giant Tower. That'd be awesome. I really think the community needs it.
Well, we'll find out tonight. Like I said, it could either be Miranda or Nord. It would make sense. It wouldn't really make sense for them to put Miranda on the Giant Tower, because I have her at Immortal 5. Anybody that pulled on Korra is going to have her at Immortal 5, if not close. Where's your Miranda at right now?
I think she's Immortal 3. I haven't really gotten any of the passes for the Hell Arena, just because I don't really have a problem with tickets. I almost have my Helentus to like Immortal 3, so it's kind of, but I mean, if they bring, great, because that means I can save some tickets for the next week. But no, but I'm hoping they really do need it, and hopefully they add some more stuff to it tonight.
Yeah. So you said off screen that you were gonna buy this $100 pack. What are you buying out of here?
Because the game has sucked all my genes out. I know some people should, the Universal Crystal is probably the smartest thing to do. Tiger talked about that's what he would get. Me personally, I need genes, so I would probably buy gene, then limited tickets, because I don't really, the Red Runes is, and then I know off camera we talked about it. I'm kind of a freak over the triangle tickets. I am, like, right now I think I got 99 on hand, and hopefully by this is done I'll have about 140 plus, just because if the new energy hero is good, then I'll have Immortal Gear and level 2 on all of them.
Cool. Yeah. Well, these are decent packs. So I think these are fair value for spenders, because you can kind of pick what you're going to buy. I know I didn't catch, I watched Kiger's video, but I didn't see, he said not to buy the $30 pack.
Yeah, he said the value, he says, wasn't there, which, I mean, the way I look at it is a lot of the $30 packs, if you look at it, it's going to be normally, I think, like 30 limited tickets with 10 chips, and then some other stuff. This is, to me, it breaks it down. You're still getting limited tickets, you're still getting Red Runes, and you're still getting some other the triangle tickets. So I honestly, I think it's a great value. Now, yes, the $10 pack is by far the best value of pack-wise, but I mean,
well,
sweet personally, but I'm going to.
the 30 Red Runes, like, if we can get 30 Red Runes for $1, for $7, so we can put a value of $7 on for Red Runes out of this.
Yeah.
And then if we go $1 limited, there's 27. And then these chips, which some people would argue that there's no value in these Katosian Triangle tickets, but I think that's wrong. I think I agree with you that these are very, very... it sucks that it's RNG that you get the tempered material with them, but no one can argue the fact that having Immortal Gear, and people forget that, I think everyone's kind of been lulled, but people forget that we're getting up to stage 12 in all those dungeons with, I think, was it 2 more levels added on to this gear, or is it just 1? I can't remember if it goes to 3 or 4.
I want to say it's 3, but they might bump it up, because I know the only thing that I don't, and it's just kind of rambling now, but I think I don't see value in the 3, because like on the gloves, second goes from 20 to 50. Oh yeah. So that's a big jump. Now third only goes to 60, so it's only a 10% increase, which
I forgot to see that.
Yeah, so value-wise, from me doing, and I've done a lot of runs on my gear, that's where I pride myself of getting all Immortal Gear. But if you run 10 you're about average about 5 level 1 or 1-star tempered gear, and then 2 to 3 maybe on 2-star. So yes, it does take a time. I'll be honest, on Summon Arena, I'll buy all the level 1 tempered gear, and then I probably should save up and save 4 and get the Immortal Crystal, but I'll probably spend my 2. If I get to Elite 8, I'll put on the Tier 2 ones.
Yeah, I buy the Tier 2 ones too, because like if we just go to Summon Arena where I'm Border, I still get, every once in a while, I still get a little flustered over where the button placement is. All right, can I look? Yeah, I can look. So, yeah, store, shop, here we go. So, I've got, it's my Solar Flare Max. Yes, the crystal is nice, but the crystal can be farmed, right? So this is a farmable material. And these, it's so juicy to get 10 of these, although it is 2 trophies, which Oh, I don't know. Yeah. I think I bought some of these last time.
Now, the endless battle, I think, is the best of all of those tempering gear, because when you have that one box that you can choose 20 gene hybrid crystal shards and then has the rest, but then you can choose the temper 2 material, and every one that you pick is actually 2. So that one I've always got, because that, I mean, you use one, it's 2. So I think that you get like 10 or I can't remember how many you get. I'd have to look, but you get a lot of tempering gear off of that. So I mean, it takes a good chunk. You know, my Ares took, I mean, that was his bottom row is all level 2. So, but I think it's just sometime, like we talked about, if you can't get to I5, you know, Immortal 5 characters, it's a easier way to get to, and a cheaper way, I guess, would say, to get that closer to a tougher opponent.
Yeah, I agree. It's a huge stat bump, especially on the bottom row bottom row gear slots. Huge stat bump. So cool. All right. So that was the limited store, the whole SIF being in there, blah 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 blah. I think they're just gonna bring these packs back once a month, and they're just gonna have a random 4 units in there. I don't think I'm gonna read too much into the SIF not being on Giant Tower. I think they're just gonna, like we said, kinda. I think it's gonna be Miranda tomorrow or Thursday, and then Nord on Giant Tower, and then they're gonna break back into Cadence, and we're gonna be SIF a month from now, hopefully.
Or maybe they could, you know, put an SP character in there and maybe make it 400 or 500. Nah, now I'm saying crazy things.
Yeah. There's no way the SPs are going to be what they are. There's no way they're because we've seen, like you saw how many people bought them on the new servers.
Yep.
People are buying those up left, right, center, and why wouldn't you? Because like it's not just Korra. Like it is the ultimate catch-up mechanism, because you get all these heroes you get them a lot. So Ampu, Rise, Rick, Leo, Miranda, even Panda, like those are some monster heroes to get right off the rip. And if you're dropping money and you're getting all of these maxed out, well, you just won the game.
Oh, I think I watched when Barry was doing content. I don't know if he still has. I haven't seen him, but when he did the Korra to Max, he literally got, I think, Panda, Rick, and like 2 other characters fully Immortal 5 off of that, which was pretty insane to think of that, because an Immortal 5 Panda is a nightmare for anybody.
Yeah, agreed. So I'm not advocating anyone go out and spend $3,000 on this, but for the people that do want to spend, it is the ultimate catch-up mechanism, and I think that they're making money hand over fist on these these SP heroes. It's just us that, you know, those of us that have dropped that money over time, slowly, to get a full, well-rounded roster. We're a little bit ticked that one hero can come in and kind of derail our meticulous planning and spending, but we'll get over it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they'll find ways to kind of counter them sometimes.
All right, last topic of the night, and we've kind of touched on them throughout the night, is the new Triple S energy hero. How are you pronouncing this guy's name?
Honestly, in my video when I did it, I was up late and I saw it drop with the sneak peek, and I tried to be the first one out of all of us to get it out. I don't even think I said it I think Raph made a video and I watched it and he said it and I was like, yeah, I don't know how to say this. I think I'll butcher it. I'm bad. I'm not. I played too much football in my life.
Yeah, well, since they're saying that he's the Rogue Storm, I'm just going to call him Kareolis. Because isn't that something to do with the storm?
Yep.
Isn't that like a type of cloud formation or something? So I'm calling, even though it's an A instead of an O, I'm calling him Coriolis because that's just one letter off.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be the storm guy until I figure it out. No, but
yeah, because how are we gonna type his name? Care?
Yeah.
Olis? Yeah. So whatever. We'll deal with it. I know we like to shorten the names up, like Northeon to Nord, Ravenna to Rav, all that kind of stuff. But so what is your first impression when you saw this guy and you read his kit? What'd you think?
I was super excited. I was one of the lucky ones back in the day that played and started, and I got to get Nord, and there was a lot of vibes off of him. Like I love his design. His design looks mean, but it's a cool design of it. And then I mean the kit sounds, like again, if that true damage can crit, then that's a game changer. And then the whole damage through the whole area with his earthquakes.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on the percentages and everything, but that just sounds awesome. And like we said off camera, I think a little Purin, kind of how hers goes through the whole thing, and they need it. Energy needs this. They need him to kind of hit because energy gets countered by everybody. It feels like. I mean,
They are the weak team right now, for sure.
yeah. I mean, hell, my summoner team actually pretty much. You throw Jaina on your summoner team, you can pretty much sometimes counter an energy team with it. So, but yeah, they need it. And from how he protects the back row and the middle row, I think is pretty awesome. Which we've seen that a lot of the new heroes coming out, Rebecca, they've all kind of had a kit. Tachikoma has the shield.
Yep.
Like they're all protecting their team, which is kind of nice because then you can move that support around a little more, and you don't have to have it to the old days where we just had Maz and Serena was great, but so you had two support, and I know there's another one, the chick, I forgot, the Winfrey chick, which she was a great
Bada.
tank keeper, but Bada,
Yeah.
she's still I think legendary. I still have not finished her, but no, I think it's going to be great. I think his kit sounds awesome. I'm hoping that with when it fully comes out. Now, granted, we won't know the numbers until Thursday, but I hope they kind of hit because the energy needs to come back. Like because in Hell Arena, it's the same teams. Everybody uses the same teams. You just might throw a little variant to it.
Pretty much.
It's nice to throw someone back, but I like them. What'd you think?
Like I said, we got to wait for the numbers. I think I just got a feeling in my gut that he's going to be beastly. So this abyssal, what's the abyssal Stormfield, I think since it says it starts at the beginning of battle, I think he's also going to be able to, I don't think it's going to persist through the entire battle, even though it might, but it could be just like Miranda. Miranda at the start of battle, she immediately puts up the first shield, but then she has to reapply the shield.
Mm-hmm.
So I think why it's at the beginning, and I want to get your opinion on this. It says, I got it highlighted here, any charges into the radius will be interrupted. So Teresh's toss, the toss itself, is considered a charge. So how's that going to work? Are they going to hit the field and then just drop down straight into the front row? How do you think that's going to work exactly?
Honestly, I think it will probably drop. I mean, I could see it where it would hit the field and kind of just plop down where they hit mostly. But yeah, I mean, it's weird how the mechanics going to go, because that's the thing is, okay, so when Ares charges in, is it like he's just going to hit a wall and bounce right off? I mean, I don't know how the mechanic's going to be, but it sounds cool. I mean, from it sounds cool, but let's see how it works, because it's weird.
Yeah, like when I hear the word interrupt, I think of like going back to World of Warcraft. When you interrupt, you basically just stun them for 3 seconds, right? So, and that, I think that's how that works, because the tanks interrupt charge effects, and they kind of just stop. They just stop, right? They're like when you see Leo, when he would do his charge, he would still keep spinning, but he would stop right at the level where the tanks were, and he wouldn't move any further. So I guess maybe if you're just gonna see Teresh chucking somebody, and he's just gonna fall short, and he's gonna fall right into Nord. Nord's gonna do his ultimate, and he's gonna kill him. So that's gonna be cool. And then like you said, Ares isn't going to be able to ult, because he's gonna try to ult right through them, and he's just gonna stop. So then the counters to this is gonna be assassins, right?
Yeah, assassins. I mean,
not hunters, because the hunters are going to get nuked because of their range.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, we might see. I'm not saying like, this is kind of before because we don't know the kit totally, but I mean, this might be because remember when Energy first when Nord had it and then changed, they were pretty much a monster.
Yep.
Now I think it could be where the meta might shift again and go back to Energy. Because then you can throw Purin on that team. I mean, there's ways to do it because she can bump up their, and then you add the new prototype. I mean, I did joke, but I think these Spider Boss numbers are going to go through the roof.
Oh, it's going to be stupid. It's going to be absolutely stupid.
I mean, we have one guy that pretty much can take 16 out by himself on 3 hits. So I think he's doing around 25 billion plus every hit. So this is going to be, I know, but I'm excited. I really am. I haven't been this. I'll be honestly, the last one I was really excited about was Ares, just because I like Vanguards. But I was sad, and then I got happy again after we figured out what he needed to get done on him. So
my last one was Sif. No. I thought Sif. I think that this one's going to be like Sif. He's just going to come out of the gate just pounding everybody.
I mean, because Sif, I mean, she slightly changed it because now she could counter a lot of things. You know, they've done well with a lot of the designs of the last ones and their kits and everything.
Yeah, like even Arcadia, I know people didn't really like her, but you get her X30 and you get that triple ultimate, and she puts out really good damage. It just kind of is unfortunate that Hunters don't have. Hunters and Energy are kind of in the same boat where they don't have that dedicated frontline unit, right?
Yep.
Like they tried to give us, what was the last rare or the last elite they gave us in the old Endless Battle? It was the
tank that was supposed to be synergized with Energy.
Yeah, I can't remember. Vegnus, that was his name.
Yes.
Yeah, Vegnus on paper looked like he was going to be the frontliner for Energy because his kit was built that way, but he was just too squishy. He just couldn't handle all that heat off the beginning. He would just die, even at Immortal 5. So
I mean, it would be amazing if they would just make, even if it's a Hunter or if this Energy, but I know it's already kind of confirmed that he's going to be Energy, like he won't be, but make a Rage based, like, and just where he can, like, this would be crazy. It would be OP, but Rage based Energy, where it's mostly just getting hit, but then alting AoEs out. It would pretty much be OP, but that's kind of like something down the road.
Jaina already kind of is an alt machine gun.
But give him that defense from her, that, the HP to where it's kind of keep him alive, almost like a Brog, where he just keeps getting hit and he just keeps going back at it. But that sounds OP.
Well, why don't we make a team we call the Three Amigos? We have Nord, we have Korra, and we have Ares as the frontliner.
Ooh.
Well, because if you're running assassins, tanks, and summoners, and if you want to run Energy, just chuck Ares as the frontliner. He's just going to keep the whole other team busy.
True. And I've built my Nord now with Marauder and Blessed set to give him damage reduction.
Yep.
And it hasn't really lost on attack, but it gives him some damage reduction to where he can, granted he gets it, but it helps that initial burst off the bat to kind of keep him alive.
So, I don't know, maybe Ares is a frontliner. I think the team would look a lot cooler.
Yeah, that would be all those Atlas. But no, I'm excited. Hopefully, I'm excited for this. Hopefully it's a good patch and everything like that. Maybe one day we'll get that Ancient Altar finally to like Nightmare or something for us. One day we'll get that.
Yeah, after they've given us an SP of every class is when they'll give us the extra Ancient Altar tiers, and those will drop the SP tickets so that we can actually start farming them now that all the Krakens have spent and left. But we'll see, because we got the 1 year. Who knows what the game is going to change like in the next 2 weeks. Are you still having fun playing? I guess we'll probably wrap it up with that. Do you still wake up and enjoy playing Eternal Evolution every day?
Yes, I do. It actually helped me kind of last couple months. I didn't make a lot of videos, but I was going through some stuff with, me, and it honestly helped me out a lot because with the community, I mean, with you guys, with the content, like talking to you guys, and then with the guild, sometimes people don't understand that, they think playing games are kind of, for immature or whatever. But honestly, it can help you sometimes through some dark times and have that second family in a way. And no, I have fun with it. Honestly, it's now my daughters even ask me questions of, why do you use that character? This character looks cooler. And I'm like, well, it does this. And then she's throwing stuff at me of like, well, I mean, what about if you did this? And I'm like, all right. So I enjoy it. I really do. It is probably one of the best mobile games. And like my last video, I said, it gives me the closest thing to almost like a World of Warcraft in a way, where you can customize and go through and change everything up in theorycraft, like we've talked about. It's my favorite thing. I love playing with stuff.
And it doesn't take you 8 hours a day like World of Warcraft did.
Yeah. yeah, it sucked my life out. But no, I really love the game and I have fun with it.
Awesome. Good. No, I do too. That's good to hear. Because if we're not playing it for fun, why are we playing it? Like you hear people bitch and moan and complain. Just stop. I know people are just trying to feel good or trying to rail against the system because they've spent a bunch of money and they don't want that money to go to waste. Well, I'm sorry, but these are not investments. Anything you put into any mobile game is gone the minute you spend it. So just play for fun.
Yeah, and there are some mobile games out there when you spend, you also could get raided overnight and then all that money just goes away.
Oh, yeah. So, you talking the Age of Dragons, all those types of games?
I played Lords Mobile for 4 years and I had a massive account and it took them, I think, 9 hours to fully raid while I was sleeping to raid my whole castle, which I'm not gonna lie, I might have shed a tear the next morning when I first saw that. But this is why I love this game. So if you are gonna spend some money, you don't lose anything. Like it stays there. You can whatever. So honestly, it's a great. If people really looked at some of these games, it's a great game.
All right, I think that says it all. Mayhem, thanks for coming. I'm not gonna keep you any longer. We've been going on for 57 minutes, even though it's felt like 7.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. And I will put the link to Mayhem's YouTube channel in the description of this video. I highly recommend everybody that's listening up till this point to go click on it and give him a subscribe. Give him a follow, subscribe, all that stuff. Give him lots of love. All right, Mayhem, thanks very much for coming, sir.
All right, sir. You have a good night.
All right, you too. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm losing my voice. Cheers, peace. Bye-bye.